Hey everyone, thank you for coming back for another episode of Watercolors with Pepper. Today on the show, I'm actually going to be testing out a lovely set of watercolor samples that were given to me by Ruby Mountain Paint Company, or Paint Co. They are based actually in Colorado, so they are a local company. I'm a local artist, and I get to test out their watercolor pans that are all handmade, and so far I've been really loving their stuff. But this set of particular samples that they sent me, they came out much better than I anticipated. Normally I test something out and I won't make a video or anything like that, so, and then unless it's a company I really wanted to test stuff out with. But this one, they reached out to me and I was pleasantly surprised of everything that I got out of what they sent me. And let's just get into it and get started. So as you can see, the 4 dots that are on the one page are the primary palette by the company Ruby Mountain Paint Co. makes. It's Fire, Sun, French Ultramarine, and Spring Grain. I love these 4 together. I really like the mixture. It definitely shows me that the fire is some sort of vermilion or a vermilion hue, because it mixes, and I was able to get that lovely orange color that when you mix a vermilion with a yellow, it creates this nice orange that I absolutely love. So if it's not, they'll tell me that I'm wrong, and that's fine too. I'm just saying what I like about the color and the fact that it does turn out to be something I really do enjoy. The other 4 dots that are right there, it's the Pinkest Pink, Lemon Ocher, Turquoise, and Rosewood. This one, it was a little bit of a more interesting thing for me, because the Pinkest Pink is something that I've only heard about. I've never actually worked with it. I don't work with pink very often. However, I really do like this pink. And I since I do a lot of watercolors, and I'm trying to get more into doing watercolors with comics, and that's my other show that I do on YouTube. I really do think that this Pinkest Pink would actually work out very well. The Lemon Ocher, I like it. It seems like it's a combination, but I know Lemon Ocher is a single pigment base, and I really like on how translucent this one is, because even my own ochre that I've made for myself is a little bit heavier than theirs, and I really like on how they made it. The last one, I just do like all of them, and I'll just let you watch. Bye for now. Hey, I'm back. So what you're about to see, or what you are seeing, is you see the 4 panels that I use for testing watercolors together to see how well or what I can do with them. Anyways, like the swatching before, here's me. I have a plate. That plate is just a cheap plate that you can get at like IKEA or some dollar store, wherever. It's a glass, plate. I use them for mixing. I don't use them for food. Once they have paint on them, never put food on them, because you never know what is still on it after you use paint on it. Anyway, I'm just paranoid. By all means, if you don't want to heed my warning, go right ahead. Put it in the microwave, all that fun jazz. Anyway, don't put your paint in the microwave, especially these, because these are very nice. Anyhow, as you can see, I laid down the Pink is Pink on the base. From a coloring perspective, I thought the Pink is Pink would be great as a base. That is my fault, not the paint manufacturer or the paint, like the creation of this paint. It is simply my fault. So if you don't like that I laid down the Pink is Pink first, trust me, I think that if I redid it, it would be done differently. I would have not have chosen the Pink is Pink. I would probably water down the spring green or use the turquoise as a base for it, but since her skin tone had to be lighter, I decided to go with the Pink is Pink. And eventually I do end up doing some glazing and some layering of the colors, in which case that actually helps with the skin overall. And so I do get it to a point where I do like it. But I tried something different with this paint, and I did notice this, and I know a lot of people are very much against this, but I did my shadowing after mixing the Pink is Pink and the French Ultramarine together on the clothing. And I noticed something when I was doing other things with the paint, that putting a layer of paint down for shadows first, it kind of piqued my interest, because for some weird reason I noticed it wasn't muddling it. It was still staying exactly where I wanted it to. So that's what I did. I waited until it was dry. I didn't touch it with any other paint. Normally I just try to, when I do something like this, it's more experimental. But it was definitely a payout, and I actually will always love this paint just because of that aspect. It didn't blend the way that others, when they re-wet, do. Especially since I re-wet. I work dry on wet on dry, so you have to understand that's my technique. So for me, it works. If you work wet on wet, this is not going to happen for you. This is going to spread. It's going to kind of go permeate through the entire piece. So please remember, I am working on with a technique called wet on dry, which means the surface is dry, but my paintbrush is wet. So let me clarify that. If you work wet on wet, which is a wet paintbrush with a wet piece of material that you are using watercolors on, that usually makes dispersion and spreading of a color, in which case, by the way, these do very well at as well. So either way, whatever your choice of method is, you're gonna get some very good and long-standing results. Anyways, I've been talking enough. I'll let you finish it out and enjoy the music in the meantime. I will talk to you later. Bye. with this shadowing and stuff like that, I'm just gonna say that I was wrapping things up. I did add white to the eyes and just a few like little touches here and there. But because the background was so light and I did kind of give like a little bit of a misty white type thing, I didn't outline the character like I normally do. I just, as you can see, I'm finishing up the shadows that I didn't want to do prior to laying down the coloring. As you see, with that shadowing, with that shadow that I made prior to laying down the fire color on top of the clothing, I think it worked out, but I mixed the sun and yellow, or the sun and the lemon ochre together, and I created a very nice thing to go over everything in the skin, and that's what actually evened everything out. But all in all, recommend this, and I love them. I'm gonna try to get some more if I can. So have a good rest of your day and night, depending on what time of day that you're watching.